Hello, welcome to the practice quiz for sections 1.1 through 1.5 in Algebra 1. Okay, you're supposed to circle the correct answer here. It says, what kind of dog do you own? So there's two kinds of data. There's number data and category data, which is like words. So word data and number data. So what kind of category it is, that would be a word, and what kind of dog you have is words. So we would circle that one. How many pets do you own? That is a number answer, so that's numerical data. And then there's the question of a statistical question versus a non-statistical question. What was your score on the last quiz? That's one answer and it doesn't change. So if we were recording all the quizzes in the classroom, then that would be a statistical question. So it just says yours, your specific one. That doesn't change. So it's a non-statistical question. And we're going to make a box plot out of this data here. It says number of hours. Maybe it's the number of hours studying or something like that, or exercising in a week. It doesn't really matter. It's just number of hours. So the low is obviously 1 hour, and the high is obviously 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 numbers. So with 15 numbers, there's 7 numbers, there's 1 number in the middle, and then there's 7 numbers on the top. So that equals a total of 15. So there is one true middle. So we got to find it. It's either the 8th number from the bottom or the 8th number from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would be right there, and it is 5. Now 7 is 3, 1, 3. So there actually is a true middle number for the bottom as well. So we're going to look at these first 7 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go 1, 2, 3. So the 4th one. So there is the quartile on the bottom, Q1, which would be 3. And then there's these 7 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, right, that would be 6. So there's the numbers that we need. So now we remember Fifth Third Bank, right? 5, 3. So I go low is 1, high is 7, 5 is middle, 6, and 3. Then I make one line all the way across, showing that it connects from the bottom to the top, and then the middle part gets the box. All right, so there it is. So this smaller box here, right, 50% of the data is here, and it's kind of in a small space. Well, it kind of makes sense because that's where most of the dots are, so that's what it tells us. And then this is half of the data, and it's more spread out. Okay, so there's the first page. Number 5, we're going to make a histogram out of the following data. I gave you the classes down here. So 0 to 5, there aren't any, and then 5 to 10, so that would be this right there, and there's just 2. So make a box there at 2. And then I'm going to do 12 because it's 15 and above is kind of how it works. So 12, there's just 1 in that category. Okay, and then 15 up, but not including 20, there'd be 3. And then the rest of them, 20 up, but not including 25, there'd be 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just go like that. So we're kind of putting them in categories. Now, if you look at this, we just know that there's 4 numbers in that section. We don't know specifically what they are. We just know that there's 4 numbers in there. And there's just 1 number in here, etc. But here's the individual pieces of data. All right, so now we're going to do a matching activity. So we're going to describe the distribution. Is it skewed by modal, uniform, or symmetric? So symmetric means that it's the same, like from the center to the outsides. So this one would be D. Skewed means it's pulled one direction. This data right here is skewed to the right, so that would be A. Bi means two, it's like bicycle, so there's two most frequent, so it's bimodal, so that would be B. And uniform is all the same. Like if we put a uniform on all of you, you would, like a private school that everybody has a uniform, they're supposed to all look the same. All right, or football uniforms or whatever. All right, so now the next question is, what is the interquartile range for number 4? So the interquartile range, the formula for that is Q3 minus Q1, and it just shows you where is that middle 50% of the data, because the data is split up into quarters. So this is where the middle 50% is, because the data has 4 quarters to it. So so it's 6 minus 3. So it'd be 6 minus 3, which is equal to 3. All right, now we're going to calculate the MAD. I made the table for you, so it should be pretty easy for you to calculate out. The first thing you need to know is you need to know the average of those 5 numbers. I made it only 5 numbers so that it's not as long to calculate out. So we just got to find the average of those 5 numbers. So 5 plus 6 plus 13 plus 18 plus 18. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So the mean is 12. We copy that down all the times here. Then we do the data minus the mean. So 5 minus 12 is negative 7. Then we take the absolute value of that answer, 7. This minus this is negative 6. We write 6. This minus this is 1. It stays 1. 6, 6, 6, 6. All right. Then we're going to average those together. So it's 7 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 6 equals 26. That's what I got. Uh-oh, did I miss a number? 7, 6, 1, 6, 6 is 26. So the MAD is 26 divided by 5, because there's 5. So the MAD is the mean of the last column. So 26 divided by 5 is 5.2. So this is a measure of how the data is spread out. And this data is actually kind of spread out because, 5 up to 18 is a big gap, right? So like if these were like people's ages or something like that. So like maybe a family had twins that are 18 and then they had, 3 more kids later. Then that's a pretty big gap of ages, and the MAD shows that like 5.2 is a pretty spread out number compared to like how 5 compared to 18. I mean, a 5-year-old and an 18-year-old are like completely different people. So that shows that it's the data is kind of spread out. If this MAD was 1, then these numbers would be more compressed together. Okay. Why can you not find the mean if you have a box plot? Well, so in a box plot here, you just don't know the individual numbers, so you can't find the average, right? So you don't know individual numbers. What center value can you find? Well, the only center value you can find, which is what we found right there, is the median, right? M stands for median. So you can find the median. Okay, what does it mean if the mean and the median are far apart from each other? So one of the questions we did the other day is that like the average was 7.6 and the other one was 7.5, one of them was 7.6. So the two numbers are really close together. Well, if they're far apart from each other, that means that the data is really spread out. Something is probably skewed. So if they're far apart from each other, the data is really spread out. Maybe there's an outlier. So like, like on the dot plot thing where there'd be a whole bunch of dots here, right? And then there'd be like a few straggling dots out here, which would make it really spread out. So that's kind of the idea with that. My dot plot was just really fast to show you. All right, so that's the quiz. 10 minutes, boom.